Is it on? Let's make sure. Already? All right. So, hello. This is Ronnie, and I want to do just a little video tutorial, really for those that are, just starting out in Shopify, or they just got wave of Shopify and they're getting hung up on some of the admin areas of Shopify. And so I just wanted to do a video, not to go too much into detail, but like I said, I'm going through a quick setup, some of the things that you may get hung up on. It's really after that process of when you sign up, and then Shopify gives you, step by step on how to do things. It's right after that point that you may get hung up, and it's just time to move forward. So I just wanted to do a little video on that. So this is how to get started with your Shopify store quick setup. All right. So let's see. So the first thing you want to do is, what I have here is the first thing that you want to look at, the screen in Shopify, and hopefully you can see this. This is the general settings tab or option, as you can see. And you can click on here. If you can see this right here, you can go to general settings, and this is what will pop up. And what you want to make sure is, all you have to do is type in your store name, the name of your store. Now, at this point, you've probably thought about what you want your store to be, just going through those step-by-step process through Shopify when you first sign up. But this is like where you think that your store, what you want it truly to be called. This is actually the domain that you're going to use. And I'm going to go through the detail on how to do that right after this. But this is the page where you want to make sure you type in your store name. And then you want to type in your email address, which would be the name of the store at Gmail. Now you can use a different company or platform besides Gmail, but hey, Gmail is great. I use it. It works well. And then what you want to do, if you can look over here, because over here is where the name of Gmail, and that's this box right here is just basically where the address where if Shopify needs to contact you, right? And then what you will have is a customer email, and that's where I listed support at name of store. Oh, sorry, not name of store at Gmail. That's not correct. It's actually support at name of store. So we can take that out. And then let me change that right now. Actually, let's go back. Let me change it. This is live, so let me see. Let me change it. So no confusion. .com. Then let's go down here. .com. All right. All right, let's go back. Let me highlight that, and we are good to go. All right. Okay. Okay, so we are on general settings. We're back on general settings, and basically what we have here is two different. We have support at name of store, then we have admin at name of store. I usually use support at name of store, but you definitely can use admin for customers to contact you. It's up to you what you want to do. And then what you want to do in this section is, of course, put in the name of store in this area, phone number, and street. Now, a lot of people get hung up on this part of it, the street. So they're saying that, well, I'm online. Why do I need to put in an address? The easiest thing I would say is, you put in your office where you work, right? Or if you work at home, use that address. What I use is a P.O. box. So go ahead and use a P.O. box. I know some others have a virtual address. Some others have used that. But for me, I use a P.O. box for now. So that's something that you can set that up. That's somewhere I know that that's a piece that a lot of people get set up, stuck on. So I just wanted to really make sure I mention that about the address. So let's see. So I did a little bigger screen, right? In the general settings. So if you couldn't see my screen, it is general, as you can see. And how did I get to general? Through the settings. Just clicking on this button right here will take you to this menu. And this is everything that I just discussed about name of store, account email, customer email, and really and truly this street, the address, right? A lot of people get hung up on that. And next, because we were talking about, this information right here, and what is important, what we would want to do is set up a domain. Now, the easiest way I say is, if you're not familiar with other things, is just do it through Shopify. But you're able to do it through, Namecheap, GoDaddy, get a domain from there, wherever else place. A lot of times I use Namecheap for my other, if I want another domain, but I believe I went directly through Shopify for 2 of my stores. So you could do that as well. And I'm actually going to show you really quick on how to do Shopify. I believe I have a video on how to set up a domain or get a domain through Namecheap. If you're really interested in doing that, just look that up. I should have something available. So let's see. So now we're on online store domains. Now, how did I get there? I went through the online store, which is this, clicking on here, right here. If you can see this icon, and then what it'll provide is domains. And what you want to do is set up your primary domain. And here is the button where you can buy a new domain. So what you want to do is, type in the name that you want to use, and hopefully it's available, right? There's so many different ways that you can figure out if it's available. Like I said, I should have a video regarding Namecheap that will help you out in figuring out if it's available. If not, you can go directly here. Like I said, here, type it in, and it'll show you if it's available or not. So whatever you want, your name of the store.com is here. And you click save, and then what you see down here, and what I want to mention is this is going to be basically the name of your store, what you specifically identified your store to be when you signed up with Shopify. This is what you're going to see. And then you'll have what you'll have is basically, once you set up or buy your domain, you will have an option or variant of your URL. So basically you'll have nameofstore.com, and then you'll have www.nameofstore.com. And this is really what you need to set up in order to, if I go back to the screen, in order to get this information here, right here, right? So if we go back here, and what you're going to do is, right after you clicked on domains, it's going to say email forward, right? Email forwarding. And what you can do is, this is where you set them up. Right here, right? This is where it says email forwarding, and you will create, like I have one that says sales, and then I have one that says support. So this is where it's set up, and then once you set those up, you can change this right here. But in the meantime, what you do is, if you're setting up your domain after this, just put this in here, a Gmail or whatever email that you're using over here in the meantime. Don't get hung up on this. It's really, I get it, right? So once you do this over here, where are we? Email forwarding, you got that taken care of, because basically what it's doing is forwarding emails. What it's going to do is right here is your email address. It's going to say sales@nameafstore.com or support@.com or admin@store.com, blah, blah, blah. And then it's going to forward to that Gmail or whatever email platform that you're using, right? So this is what this is for. And it's really nice to have one of these, because you're probably wondering, why do you need to forward, or why do you need to set up an email address? It's just great to have, especially for customers, so they can see that you have a real email address. Not that, you can't use Gmail, but it's just nice to have that available. All right, so now we're on to set up payments. Now, when you set up payments, there's two options here. Shopify payments, PayPal. And I forgot to click on this, but this is fine. This will give you enough information. And again, we're clicking on settings, and the menu that's available is payments. It's right underneath general. And what you have here are the main two, like I said, is Shopify payments. This is where people can pay directly through their Visa, MasterCard, credit card number, or what have you. They can go directly to Shopify payments. And we have PayPal, which is awesome. PayPal, of course, we all know, want that set up as well, because a lot of your customers will use PayPal, and some will use their Visa, their MasterCard, whatever that may be. But it's always great to have these options. Now, going into this, you may be able to use it. If you're using it, that's fine. If you're not using it, there's nothing to worry about. There's nothing if you want to learn a little bit more. But I don't want to go into this because it's another thing to get you hung up. So these two things are basically what you need to make sure you set up or have available. And so this is really, this Shopify payments, what you have to do is set up a credit card. And I think the next page is, sorry about that, because you need to set up, you want to set this up so that, people are available to pay you, right? When you sell a product. And then, of course, you have PayPal. You want your customers to be able to have that option, because you may have a customer that doesn't have a credit card, or they feel more comfortable using PayPal. So just wanted to put that out, because you can get hung up on this. Should I use PayPal, or no, I shouldn't use PayPal, or what is this Shopify payments? It's simple. It's labeled Shopify payments because it's processed through Stripe, but it's Visa. It's Discover, I believe, and American Express, I believe. Don't quote me on that, but it's usually a credit card, or if you have a debit card and you have a number that's associated with it that you can type in, that's what you can use that for. Now, next is something that I believe is important to have. This administrative part that you need is updating the checkout page. Now, the checkout page is, because some people get hung up on this, so I wanted to identify this. Accounts, customer accounts. You want to make sure that this is labeled as accounts are optional, because just think for yourself. When you go shopping, when you're looking online, buying things, do you want to have to set up an account first? You like to just kind of window shop, right? Or you just like to make purchases, when they come in. So I would say leave it as accounts are optional. And then what we have is the form options, with include what you want to do is require the first and last name, right? Some people like to just require last name. It's up to you what you want to do. Don't get hung up on this, right? I like to use first and last name. I just do. Company name, it's optional. Everyone doesn't have a company, right? So don't get hung up on that. All right. Next, we have the address line. Now, this is the line where people can have the option of putting in like a suite number or their apartment number. Make that optional, because what's happening is if you make it hidden and they don't put in that extra, number that they need for their apartment, it's not going to be in there. And then if you put required, that would mean you just have to type something in there, and everyone doesn't have, a unit or an apartment number or a suite, right? So like I said, these are things that some people get hung up on. And of course, the phone number can be optional. It's up to you what you want in the form, but to me, it's optional at this point. But if you're really someone that's interactive on the phone and customers, that's your type of business, then maybe you would require the phone number, right? So again, just to get here is to check out. It's through settings. All right, so now we're still in the checkout option. And that's why I said I kind of picked these things. And what you want to do is basically make sure what happens is when you have a store, everyone that comes to your store isn't going to buy everything, isn't going to buy, and you have people that go all the way through the process that may not even decide to purchase. It may be that they were in the middle of something. It may be that they had to take a phone call. They just got, away from what they were doing. So what this does is it provides an abandonment, emails to go out automatically and providing, hey, blah, 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 you have this item in your cart or what have you, blah, blah, blah. So it's kind of like a reminder, automatic reminder where you personally don't have to, speak to someone. But if that's your business, that's fine. Another thing is ask for permission to send promotional emails. So by default, customer agrees to receive promotional emails. So this means that the customer has to make sure that they click on no, right? They have to take some action that they don't want the marketing, right? And then here we are, after an order has been paid, do not automatically fulfill any of the orders line items. Now I'm selecting this, and I'm pretty sure that watching this is a beginner, so that's using a platform for e-commerce, maybe print on demand or drop shipping. And the reason why you want to, because you don't have the product, you want to make sure that the process is working, and from either your drop shipper or your print on demand company. So just make sure you click on that. If you are in a different type of business and someone has showed you specifically on using the other options, that's free. But like I said, this is about people, you're getting started out. This is brand new and you get hung up on some of these things. So this is a good idea, wanted to share. And then we're still on the checkout page now. Do you see how important why I decided to do this? And what you see here, right here, is additional scripts. Now this is where Facebook pixel code go. But see, there's another place that you can put the Facebook pixel code. But see, this is not about the pixel. I believe I have a video regarding how to install the pixel, so I didn't want to go into more detail about that. But as you can see, this is where like Google Analytics, the script would go in this box here. But please do not get hung up on this. This is not necessary for you to move forward. It is great to have it on your store, but don't get hung up on it, because you will have to figure out how to do this out of Facebook, right? Or Google Analytics or any other platform that you use in the analytics. So don't get so hung up on this. Like I said, I believe I have a video on, Facebook Pixel. So like I said, if you don't know what I'm talking about, don't worry about it. This should not stop you. Put it on your list to complete, but don't let this hinder you and stop you from moving forward. Let's see what else. If we come down here, of course, whatever, whatever language you're using, just make sure that it's checked correctly, right? And then next we have generating sample policies, right? Or separate statements. And this is another thing that many may get hung up on, because they're like, I don't know how to produce a refund policy. I don't know how to create a terms of service or private, refund all these policies. Well, the great thing about Shopify is they have these templates right here ready for you. And what you want to do is just click on generate sample refund policy. Boom. And you have the policy, you have privacy policy, terms of service. But the thing is, you want to read through it, and you may want to change some words around depending on the way you run your business, how, your store, whatever that may be. But this is a base that you can use to tweak, right? You don't have to recreate the wheel, so to say. Next, we are on to shipping rates and setup zones. Now, shipping rates is very interesting, and I may do another video just to go in detail and show you exactly how to implement this and input it into your store. It can take some time, so I didn't want to use so much time on this matter when I may do a video on this, and just want to give you a little insight, just high level, where you can edit all these shipping rates. This is what I use. Now, even though I have this set up like this, you do not necessarily have to use this, right? You don't have to use this. And so, you can change around the numbers. This is just a base you can deal. If you're going back and forth and not sure what to use or whatever, use this, all right? So this should give you a start in going forward and moving forward in doing your shipping. But you want to make sure, like, I've had a free product, what it was called free plus shipping. You may or may not have that. So this is set up and geared around that. So let's see, I think I have another page of this. As you can see, just get familiar with how I'm setting up the shipping rates. Like I said, I will, thinking about doing a video just setting this up, because it can hold you back on this. And as you can see, it keeps growing and growing and growing. And you're saying, how did I figure out the weight? Well, the weight is basic. It's up to you how you want to handle it. But usually each item is 1 pound, right? Unless it's a free plus shipping, and then you do a point whatever. So that's why you see, like, say for instance, 1.6. If you see 1.6, that means that the 6, of course, the 0.6 relates to a free plus shipping offer, and the whole number, before you get to 10 though, is related to another product, a retail product, right? So this is just to give you a high level. Don't get hung up on this. Just put the information in there just like this if you can't figure it out, right? And like I said, I think I have a video. If not, I'm actually going to do a video on how to how to input this information. But if you're good at this and see as this a template, go right ahead and put it in your store. Don't get hung up on it, all right? And let's see, set up sales channel online. There are several. This is a great thing about this. Hold on for a second. The great thing about this is, so online store. So you're getting freaked out about, this is another thing you get hung up on. Themes. Do you pay for a theme, or do you use a free one? Is the free one garbage? Is it trash? That's why it's free? No. There are many people that are 6 figures, 7 figures, are using free themes. They're great to use. So, but it's up to you. If you like a pay one, but stick with the free ones, especially if you're first starting out. It's not it's not that serious. Like I said, don't get hung up on this. When I first started a store, I had so many things I got hung up on, and this was one, going back and forth on which theme to use. Well, you know what? I just say, I'm just going to use this one, right? I'll use that one. I do have a few in here right here, but you don't have to have all of these. I was just here, after I had my store set up and it was going, I kind of played around with these just to see what they look like, right? I believe what I'm using is minimal. I hear a lot of people use that. On my other store, I believe I use Brooklyn. I think I use Supply. I think I tried that out as well. So just try them out, but do not spend several days trying to think, okay, I should use this one or that one. Just pick one and move forward. All right, so accounts, add payment, and this is important. This is important. This is basically where you need to set this up. If you do not set this up, then you will not be moving forward. This is something where, basically, Shopify needs us to bill you every month, to charge you every month. So just make sure you have that information in there. In this section, and again, we're still on the same menu, right? Now, let's see. So that was basically it that I discussed. I mean, I didn't go through all these other things because, like I said, these are a lot of things that people get stuck on. I did not mention about taxes. I did not do that one, right? I did not. And that one is a little bit different because it's taxes, right? But don't get hung up on that. If the default is in there, I would suggest leaving it in there and do a little research on whatever state that you're in and see if you need to set up sales tax, period, right? In your state. But do not allow that to prevent you from moving forward. Just use the default and make it a priority to get it done, but don't worry too much about it because you can get hung up on that. All right, so that is it. Just want to do a quick setup view on things that you can get hung up on and you can move forward. What I'll do is maybe do a video, like I said, on some of those topics in there to go a little bit more into detail, and then and go from there. And also, actually, what I'll do is, like I said, this is just a quick setup. You can look around in my videos. I may do a video on the next steps, right? Things that people get hung up on. That's the process of adding things to their store, right? After the admin, just those things of what you need to do to get your adding products and things that's related to that. This was just about the admin part, true admin part, and before you move on to the exciting stuff, right? All right, so if you need to want to contact me, you have questions, please feel free to reach out to me here. I am open to answering questions. Right now, click on this and it should direct you to get you a little bit more information. I think currently, as I'm recording this video live right now, there's absolute free training, and once you go through here, definitely you will get directed to some free training, right? Or if not, just put your information in and I'll direct you directly to what you need. All right, so hope this was beneficial to you, and I will do a video again. All right, just got to figure out how to cut this off, right? All right, peace.